Okay, so the question is, what does the statement, there is no ability or power except through Allah, tell you about Muslim belief in Allah's predestination and decree? And we're not discussing that right now, but we're discussing the B part. To what extent does this belief affect the daily living of Muslims? Now, how does the belief of predestination, what is predestination? Predestination is the belief that everything is destined for you. Allah has written everything for you, and it's Allah's divine decree, Allah's divine order when anything happens. Okay, and it's also some views are that it is a decree means death of a person. Okay, so what does this belief, how does it affect the Muslims, a Muslim's life? Reliance on Allah, tawakkaltu ala Allah. In other words, that we rely on Allah. Remember, Allah had the tawakkal on Allah. Reliance on Allah does not mean that you're not going to work for it. You work at your own place, you do everything that is possible in your capability, and then you rely on Allah. Suppose I want to pass an exam. I can't say, okay, I'm going to rely on Allah, He's going to pass me. No, I'm going to prepare for the exam. I'm going to do my level best, leave no loopholes in my studies, and then rely on Allah. So believing that everything is predestined, what does it make you do? It makes you rely on Allah. So suppose I don't pass that exam. And how will I deal with that? I tried my level best, but I didn't pass the exam. What will I buy from it? It means that it was not destined for me. This was not my destiny. This is not what Allah has decreed for me. Allah has something else in plan for me. Clear? So that's how then you begin to rely on Allah. Whereas in Pakistan, with the MD cats and so many people wasting years and years just to get in to be a doctor, they don't realize that maybe Allah has something else planned for them. And the thing that they are, struggling and striving for, it's not predestined for them. Now, this belief in predestination and decree also makes a person always hopeful. You're always hopeful. You're never going to lose hope. Suppose, let me just take the exam because, suppose I don't pass that exam. If I believe in predestination and decree to the fullest, then I will be hopeful that, okay, maybe Allah has something, and definitely Allah has something better planned for me. There's something that Allah wants better for me. So you'll always remain hopeful that, okay, whatever Allah chooses for me, that's fine, right? Okay, and then you will always, the door for prayer and dua will always stay open. Remember, the one thing that can change your destination or your destiny is prayer, your dua. People say, okay, if it's already predestined for me, then if it's already written down for me, then what's the use of praying? But remember, it is dua that can change your destiny. If Allah was the one who wrote it down, then after your dua, after your prayer, He is the one, He has the authority to remove it and rewrite it, right? So it's up to Him if He orders the angels, okay, this was destined for him, but because he has prayed so much, rewrite what I had destined for him. That's up to him. It's his work. And then the effect when a person faces harm. Suppose harm is inflicted upon us. Remember, the person who believes in Allah and the predestination, he knows that no harm can come to him unless Allah wills it to, and no good can reach him if Allah does not allow it to. So any harm that even comes to him, some people are always scared. Oh my God, what about if this happens to us? What about if that happens to us? What about if we've got so many enemies? We've got so many people who are going against us. What if this happens? What if that happens? Nothing can happen until Allah has decreed it. And even if people worry sometimes about black magic, that people do taweez and everything. If Allah wills, then it will affect you. If Allah does not will, then anybody can try as much as they want. No harm will come to you. But when Allah has decreed a harm to come to you, it will come to you no matter how many precautions you are taking. Why? Why? Because that was destined for you. And maybe through that harm, he wants to teach you a lesson. Remember, out of life experiences, every single trouble or harm that has come my way. For example, I also suffered in the 2008 earthquake of Muzaffarabad. 2005. No, it was 2005 or 2008, when something like that. No, it was 2005, 8th October 2005, the earthquake, right? So I learned so much. We were inflicted, my house, literally fell on top of us. We escaped, alhamdulillah. And one of my sons got injured, but alhamdulillah, we were all survived. So even the harm that is afflicted upon you financially or whatever, there's always a reason. Allah teaches you so much through it. Okay, and any good that comes to you, you're not going to consider it your achievement. Suppose if I take you back to that passing the exam. Any good that comes to you, I passed the exam, I got into medical college. Oh, great, this is all because of Allah. Allah had this destined for me. So any good that comes to you, if you're blessed with children, if you're blessed with a good spouse, if you're blessed financially, believing in predestination and decree will make every single person think that any good coming my way is all from Allah. And then dealing with loss, decree, the decree of Allah, dealing with any type of loss. It could be loss, financial loss. It could be loss in the form of death, somebody dying in the family, or any type of loss, emotional loss, losing emotional support, losing love, anything. The predestination and decree helps you deal with any loss in your life. Because if Allah has taken something away from you, maybe finances, maybe somebody from your life, then there's always a reason for something to occur. There is always a hikmat, a wisdom behind what Allah does to you. So even if it's a loss of a loved one, even if it's financial loss, even if you're losing an opportunity, there's always a reason behind it. That is what the belief in predestination and decree. Now, death in families. Sometimes, we're used to seeing old people die. We're usually seeing old people die. We're used to seeing that. We think that's a natural death, right? Sometimes parents lose their child in infancy. Sometimes mothers they miscarry their children. Sometimes the loss of a child in their youthhood occurs, right? Sometimes death occurs by accident. So no matter what it was, when we believe in predestination, when we believe that Allah has decreed it that way, accepting the death of a loved one becomes more easier. Allah meant it to be that way. And remember, death is just a transition. Remember, we came from Allah, we're going back to Allah, and it's just a transition from this state to the next. So it's not a goodbye, it's an entry into the next world. And don't forget, everybody's going afterwards. Any blessings that a person receives, believing in predestination and decree, makes a person realize that each and every blessings is not their possession. They don't possess it. It's not their, something that they achieved. Every single blessing, even if it's respect from the community, is all gifted by Allah's. He destined that for you, right? If you get hidayat also as a blessing, that was what Allah had destined for you. Clear? The birth of children, whether it's a boy, whether it's a girl, whether it's defected, all of this is predestined for a reason that we don't know. And some people stay childless. If you have a strong belief in destiny, then you will take all of these different situations with an open heart. And then we all know that Allah is Qadir. Allah is Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah has power over every single thing. He is omnipotent. He can do anything, whatever, whenever, and however. It is all in Allah's command. No matter what we do, No matter how much we strive, if Allah does not want it to happen, it can never. So a Muslim's life becomes more easier to live. They deal with losses, they deal with harm, they deal with happiness in in a limited way. They don't go to the extremes, the extreme sadness or extreme happiness. They keep a balanced, this belief makes them keep a balanced mindset. Hope that answered the question.